us succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am calling battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Turn me there.
Across the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got a lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed. All 13. And as it would turn out, there's only 13. I don't know. My excitement level is non-existent as of that new Doctor Who. And I don't know, this one has been really, really secret. It might be not woke at all. I have like zero excitement. I doubt I'd even be watching it if it wasn't to review it on the channel, right? But man, 10 years ago, what a different universe, right? What an absolutely different universe we lived in. So sad. You know, but it's Hanukkah's coming this week, right? Hanukkah starts on, when is the 18th of, not the 18th, what am I saying? On Thursday. I don't know why I connected Thursday to the 18th. That's really bizarre. Hanukkah starts on Thursday night. Now, do I still have, I think I have. Hang on 1 second. I have these little banners that I can put up for each. Oh, yeah, here you go. There you go. It's, I have this one. That's not there anymore. It's gone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have that one with the one, and then I've, yeah, different amount of ones on different nights, right? So, yeah, so I've got another one over there. So Hanukkah is coming, right? Which I feel is like a beginning of a gear change to reality. So next week we will be in Hanukkah. I have my Hanukkah hat there. I guess I better find my Christmas decoration because that's going up soon. But yeah, like oh yeah. So the point was this. So my wife was cleaning off. We have this like bay window in our living room, right? We have these two big bay windows. And it's just full of crap, right? Right now, it's just full of crap. Plus, I don't know how it happens. The dog just like sheds hair everywhere, constantly. The dog never seems to have less hair, but there's hair. I'm like, I understand. Yeah, she was cleaning off the reams and reams of dog hair. There's like a giant box of like Jewish books my son got as a wedding present. It's been sitting there for about 4 or 5 months. Like it's kind of a dumping ground because like we don't really pay it, but that's where we light the Hanukkah candles, right? We light with oil. It's a whole thing. I'll talk about that when we get to it. Anyway, the point is this, right? While she was cleaning up, I got this gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous Mickey Mouse statue dressed as a Jedi holding a lightsaber. And I got that before Disney Star Wars, right? When Disney was awesome with Star Wars, right? When Disney was fan-freaking-tastic with Star Wars. I used to live in Florida and go to Disney a lot, right? I had the How to Go Disney really down, but the way they did Star Wars at Disneyland, at Disney World, I should say, MGM, awesome. Right, absolutely, and that's when I bought that statue. It was expensive, right? It was an expensive statue. I was actually got that in California. We went to Disney on Christmas in California, but I don't know, good 10 years ago, right? We my wife's brother lives in California, so we went to visit them, but it was really cool because we were in this like insane. Oh my god, it was so good. I think that's what breaks my heart. just looking at the intro, seeing the Doctor, remembering how good it was, right? Same with this thing with the statue. So I bought the statue and I had it shipped back here to Israel, and it was like $200-300. It wasn't cheap at all. Maybe like 500, right? It was a lot, right? But now I look over at it, right? If I look over it, I'm like, oh God, it kind of hurts me, right, to see how it has fallen. But yeah, so but Doctor Who's going to be on in an hour and 25 minutes, give or take, and I've got no excitement, like zero excitement whatsoever. And I think if I'm feeling that, I don't know what the normie's feeling. I'm really intrigued to see what the overnight's going to be. I'm really intrigued to see what the catch-up's going to be. Look, Jane Tranter said they got another just under 2 million on Sunday, which means they're up to 7 million by Monday. Do you think? And then and it goes up by like 1 million a day. I doubt that doesn't sound realistic to me. I see them at the absolute top of their game getting 8.5 million. If they go from 5 to 8.5, that's very impressive. You know, and that's even with the bull crappery that is the iPlayer ratings, which is they give you they count you as a view if you watched it for a minute, right? That's nonsense, right? They should count you as a view. You get the percentage of the episode that you watched. As if, let's say, if you watched like 98% of the episode, okay, you skip the titles, you're still called a view at that point. But let's say you watched 2 minutes, no. If it's if that's like 1% of the episode, then it's 1% of a view, right? It's ridiculous. But I don't know. I'll be surprised if it breaks 7.5, right? I will be very surprised if it breaks 7.5. And here's the thing: Doctor Who seems to have been not the cause of like the great collapse of the bit of wokeness, right? Which we're going to be talking about tonight. No, but the great indicator of it, right? Because things are going badly for both the BBC and Disney. Very badly for Disney. Yeah, Disney were full submitting the SEC filings to which is their official like legal investor filing, because Disney lies through their asses all the time. Captain Marvel got $1 billion. Piece of shit. No, it didn't. Nobody believes you, right? I find it much more credible that you bought out the cinemas, right? I find that much more credible. But like, like everything they do on Disney Plus fails. Which is good news for Doctor Who, which is doing extremely well on Disney Plus, right? I think it's I got to check their ratings tomorrow, right? But they do it was in the top 10 most of the week, Starbase, right? Which is, I think, very good, right? And again, I understand top 10 and having like very, very low ratings, right? I think on the day I saw it got 210 million, right? No, 200 million, 210,000. Man, would Rusty Days be stroking himself off of 210 million? 100%. But he'll be stroking himself off for an extra 200,000 from what I can tell. So it's with that filing, at the same time, right? Elon Musk told Disney to go fuck themselves. Oh God, was it gorgeous? Was it absolutely gorgeous? Because it's not like, because Disney and all these other huge conglomerates are multinationals are saying, well, we don't want to engage with bad people, so we're going to remove ourselves from Twitter. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is suing, who is it? Media Matters, who the intensity of their dishonesty. Honestly, this is why they all like Hamas so much, because they all lie to the same freaking extent. The intensity of their dishonesty is beyond me. They set up these accounts and then followed all these right-wing accounts, like these not right-wing, extreme right-wing, like these general racist accounts, right? They found and then they reposted stuff from like Disney or other corporations. And so see, your posts are appearing next to this racist filth when it was all engineered, completely and totally engineered. Speaking of engineered, okay, I'm gonna look at this tomorrow, but this video is just too bizarre. I mean, it's so freaking indicative of what's going on in Gaza right now, right? You're gonna see. Yeah, 1 second. It's only a quick video. Right, so this woman is crying over a dead baby, and I'm not mocking her because it's not a real baby, right? They did facial recognition and found out it was a $50 doll from AliExpress, I think, either AliExpress or Amazon, right? So this is okay. So this woman is holding a plastic baby, right? And let's look how much they're lying. I mean, now I know it's plastic. It kind of like, oh, yeah. I mean, but you don't really think about those tears. That they are lying. So yeah. Look, I believe there's a lot of casualties. I think lots of civilian casualties in Gaza. Although my son was home, who was on the front line. Oh, I should have brought it down on me. I got a bit of a anti-tank missile that was fired at him. Well, actually he has, but I'm looking after it for him. Might get it mounted. So he's been in real combat, right? That's been fascinating to hear about. You get like you find out I find the minutiae very interesting, right? Like he's in a tank. I'm like, well, what do tanks actually do? So it turns out they're kind of like snipers, right? They patrol looking for Hamas and then kill them, right? And he said, my God, there have been like no civilians that well, he's seen dead civilians. He's seen a lot of them, right? But he's been feeding the stray animals they have there. He's like feels bad for them, but he said like we got his own tank has got like I don't know 60 confirmed kills over the last couple of weeks, right? Of Hamas people, right? Like because that's their basic job, right? To patrol and look for Hamas, and they come up from the tunnels. They don't really have much time, and unless they set up an ambush. But they don't really have much time. But he could very easily be dead. What's that? Hang on. A big mark there. Been bitten by something. I know. He had a bunch of anti-tank missiles fired at him, but because they were too close, they didn't have time to arm properly. So he didn't die because they hit them in exactly the right place to kill them, which is in between the turret and the bottom bit. If you hit them in the bit in the middle, that's very dangerous, right? So thank goodness they were all okay. But he's captured a bunch of places. And he just says their guns freaking everywhere. But they lie and they lie and they lie. Again, why does the BBC love Hamas? Because they're liars. They're condescending idiot liars, right? Just like everybody else. Right? It's Bizarreville. And where's this article I was going to look at? I just pulled up. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. So, in the least surprising report ever issued, right? The least surprising report ever issued. Oh man, Chrome would like to. It's there. Google Chrome.app would like to record the computer's. Okay, open settings. I might have to go out and come in again. That's so annoying. This is what happens when you use password. Okay, fine. This is what happens when you update your system. It's always a freaking nightmare and always freaking annoys me. Okay, so I've got to quit and reopen. Let's see if this works it out. How do I? Oh, maybe it's going to work. Oh, look at that! Never trust a computer when it says it won't work. Oh, very exciting. So in the least surprising article ever, right? Working class users switching off politically correct BBC as Ofcom warns it's out of touch. Really? I mean, look, why am I so disinterested in tonight's episode of Doctor Who? Because the more I sat with last week's episode, other than being insidious propaganda, it was also not very good. Let's be fair. It was very basic, very simplistic, very dumbed down, right? It was very, very dumbed down. And the denouement, right? It's like, okay, so you want to say the meta crisis passed over to Donna's offspring, who is a daughter with a penis. Okay, right, and they can share the meta crisis, and that's how they can survive it. That's how they can survive it, right? That's how she didn't die. Fine, but then the reason that she was able to do it because they give themselves they gave themselves a fake name non-binary, and that's how they're able to cope with. It's so stupid. And then they're able to get rid of the meta crisis like that because they're not a man. They're not a male presenting Time Lord. Oh, God, and yes, the Infinite's acting there was very poor, right? Very poor. I thought she was okay when she was prancing around like a little girl, which is clearly what Yasmin gets off on. I really think there's a very I believe like transgenderism is a kink. Which fine, you're welcome to a kink. I don't mind. Have your kink, baby. Why would I complain about you having a kink, right? But I think part of that kink is people seeing you presenting as a gender that isn't you, right? Because I just see this look of sexual pleasure on people's faces when they're able to do that. And it's very bizarre, right? And I'm sorry. Listen, I mean, that's why I think they say, I feel so seen. What are you talking about? You're the most visible people in the world. No, I think that's really part of the kink, right? I think for Yasmin Finney, being seen dressed as a woman and having and making the whole world have to, yeah, it's like 1984. You will lie and you will know you're lying, and you will lie anyway, right? Everybody else get on board with this lie. So, and I really think it's some kind of like weird power kink. Like when you drill down it. So weirdly enough, normal working class people aren't that up for this, right? The stupidity of it, right? Here's the thing, and that's the other thing. Especially the people who make TV, they look down at working class people, and they will never admit it. Oh God, they will never ever admit it, right? They look down at working class people in a most disgusting fashion. Right? They honestly, genuinely do. They think they're stupid. No, they just have less education, generally speaking, and less opportunities. Right? But honestly, you want to make Britain a fantastic country to live, get rid of anybody with higher education from government, and that's also civil service, and replace them from people who have run successful businesses. Right, I think you will probably have the most fabulous, intensely wonderful country within 2 years. Right, I honestly think that was the what Thatcherism was in to a great extent. And look, okay, I understand a lot of people hated Thatcher, right? A lot of people still do absolutely hated Thatcher. The country did very well with her, right? And it's just the reality, for God's sake. But they're able to convince you of anything nowadays. Like they convince people that January 6th was an insurrection, when instead it was a leisurely stroll around the Capitol buildings and protest a very, very obviously stolen election. Right? I mean, like which clear, people. I can't stay again. It's the overeducated intelligentsia. Like, really, am I supposed to believe there was a? They don't even think about it this hard, right? I have to say to them, yes, I understand a conspiracy between media, social media, news media, the Democrat Party and most Republican Party and the intelligence services to defraud a country and to steal an election. Sounds very improbable, right? The bigger the conspiracy, the less probable it is. However, how do you describe the Hunter Biden laptop story being suppressed other than a conspiracy between media, social media, news media, Democrat Party, most are Republicans, and the intelligence services to defraud a country to steal an election? It's exactly what, I mean, like, is there another way to describe it? I can't think of it, but lie and lie and lie and lie. And they lie to themselves, and then eventually reality hits, right? And you have external people go, no, that's not the case at all. Right? No, that is not the case at all. So audience across the UK remain generally positive to the corporation. I don't think so. I think people are just like, yeah, whatever. They don't watch it anymore. Right? That's really the bottom line. Working class viewers of the BBC are switching off from the broadcast. Oh, yeah, by the way, we'll see what that means for most people. In droves, in the new Ofcom report, the channel's output is considered increasingly safe and overly politically correct. According to Ofcom, to the Ofcom report, the BBC programmes is increasingly seen as dry and serious. Well, I wouldn't say that about the Starbase, right? That was certainly something that they bought. It was frothy and fun, just so dumb, right? Just so dumb. It really was so dumb. The Big Finish adaptation way better. Compared to the other the other channels and the major streaming services, among those in D and E social and economic groups. I don't know what D and E social and economic group is, but it doesn't sound good, right? Doesn't sound like you're having many Vegas vacations. The corporation was accused of being out of touch with ordinary people, so out of touch due to the high salaries of presenters, particularly during the cost of living crisis. I mean, God. I've said, look, many times the BBC needs to remake itself as a social media platform that any, like, basically like YouTube. You have your BBC channels, you put out your programming on that, and then you have an open source algorithm so people can see how things are actually doing, right? And it's not bullcrap. So therefore we see, if you have like your local guy who comments on sports, on football, right, soccer, is he more or less popular than Gary Lineker? Probably way more popular, right? I think, and so you have the broadcaster puts out content, and the British people can put out content, right? Again, much like YouTube, and just whoever is more successful is more successful, and the funds are allocated out of success. Now, I don't mind the original remit of the BBC being, look, there are things that are just not economical, but is good for the public. Like we have arts and entertainment that wouldn't really economically survive. I'm not actually sure that's true anymore, right? But I believe in that. I used to believe in that remit. But hey, that leads me on to this, right? So there's been a slew of stories about this, and they mostly bring up Doctor Who, right? They do mostly bring up Doctor Who. There it is again. We'll go. Which one we got? I got so many of these things. So let's start with this one, and we won't watch the whole thing.
BBC are now on the good side. I think the BBC can produce some good dramas.
Well, they could do 20, 30 years ago. What's the last good drama the BBC produced? Now, I like I like Peaky Blinders, right? And I like I haven't seen the other World War II show by the same guy, Stephen Knight. He did a version of Christmas Carol, which had a lot of very good things in it, but it was hit by the woke mind virus, very sadly. And like Christmas just isn't event television anymore, which is so sad. I mean, great Christmas TV is so much part of Christmas, right? It's very sad, but they don't like Christmas because it's too white male patriarchal.
However, they seem to be spending more times these days being the drama. So Ofcom have done a survey, and in this survey, shock horror, it found that lots of people defined as working class think that basically they're patronising, that they're politically correct. They've dumbed down comedy to the point where it's probably not comedy. Who'd have...
Well, it's not funny, if that's what you're asking.
Thought, hey. I don't know what is wrong with the BBC.
It's full of overeducated morons running the world, and I think they're going to talk about it right here.
It was a fantastic institution.
It really was. Oh my God. We had Doctor Who from it. We had so many great things from the BBC.
And it's a shame to see it just being confirmed, how it is losing touch with its audience. Rebecca Ryan joins me. Hello.
Hi there, Nick.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent. Right, thank you for joining me. So I mean,
Same Rekha Ryan or he's Nick the Boys. Okay, fine.
I've got to say, you wouldn't have been surprised by this survey.
No one is surprised by this survey. The only people, even the BBC, they're just embarrassed by it, which is
Would you?
No, I mean, we could have saved a lot of money for Ofcom if they'd actually just looked at the polling and the research and all of the data that's been out there. It's not surprising at all. But obviously, it's good to see that the data is, played out also, for Ofcom and as an official body, that they're reporting the same thing as what we're seeing. It's absolutely the case that working class people do not feel that the BBC represents them.
Why would they? What working class person is upset about pronouns? Like me, and yeah, it's so funny. Everyone's honed in on the scene where David Tennant's doctor is chastised over Meet the Beats pronouns, and I was just like, that was just an eye roll to me, right? And there were so many eye rolls in the episode. What nuclear charge everything was the finale, the end of it, which was woke garbage. That's the only, it's funny how people, I'm not even trying to say it's not woke. Now they moved on. Don't think it's always been woke. Look, here's a story from Gus and Peloton where they say that Amazon Jury, also featuring very heavily in season 14, which I big recommend from me, is was it hexapod? It was male and female, whatever. Yes, that was a wacky alien that looked like a giant penis. It looked like a giant green penis with a cape, right? Yeah, I'm fine with that being having a different sexuality. I'm not fine with a bloke with a Judge Dredd chin dressed as a little girl saying he's a 15-year-old girl. Right? I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay telling children, it's a way to solve everything. Right? Yeah, there's a little different, but they lie about everything.
And that's been building and building for a number of years.
I mean, I'd go further, Becca. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's just me, but I've sat at the BBC and I said I've had enough of this. I really.
Listen, I think a lot of people are going to be saying that. We'll see what the numbers are tomorrow. And because I don't know anything about the episode, I think this might be a much better episode, right? I think it might be genuinely a much, much stronger, better episode than last week. It certainly looks like there's more meat on the bone, even though we have no idea about anything about this episode. It looks like there's a lot more meat on the bone. It looks like there's actually might be a story tonight, right? Who knows? Oh no, the TARDIS is freaked out. And by the way, that's the other thing. I'm not even impressed with the new TARDIS, right? There's just so much negativity built up from me about this new era, right? They just really screwed it, right? They really genuinely screwed themselves. So it's not just the BBC that are in a lot of trouble, right? There's their other big financer, even though the BBC isn't really in trouble, right? The BBC. Disney's in major trouble because Elon Musk, as I said, was it Thursday? He was in a New York Times press conference or some kind of talk, like a TED talk, but for New York Times, the uber left-wing New York Times. And so the presenter was like, "Well, look, this looks like there's a bit of an apology tour you've been on. Are you sorry to all the advertisers that you lost?" And Elon Musk said, if you're going to try and blackmail me over money. I mean, this is literally the richest person in the world. You're going to try and blackmail me over money. Go fuck yourself. I mean, that was literally his words. And there was silence, right? This deadly silence. Like, the people couldn't believe he just said that. Said, but what? What do you mean? You don't want the advertisers? No, don't advertise. Go fuck yourself. And, but won't that destroy your bottom line? Said, well, listen, if it does destroy Twitter or X or whatever it's called, if it does do that, everybody's going to know about it, and we'll see what the world thinks about it. And the world has been thinking about it, and they don't fucking like it, right? Remember Bud Light? Well, Bud Light is coming to Disney now at the worst time possible. They've just had to admit in their FCC filings that they are unable to connect to their audience because they pursued a politically strident agenda, right? Can I find the article? Let me look at in my history. I remember I had it up recently. Oh, I'm up recently. That's always. I'm always excited. Let me tell you, it's that's something you just want to grab hold of. She cried. Where was it? Here we go. Oh, dang! I actually found it straight away. Blimey, I'm amazed. Right, I'm literally amazed. Here it comes. She cried. And then in a minute, we will get to the chat. Join share screen. Doink. So, I know the corporate language they use is wonderful. Woke Disney admits misalignment between its movies and its viewers. What its viewers want is harming its bottom line after progressive Snow White reboot has pushed back for major overhaul. Yeah, they turned it from like Snow White, there's the picture of it, Snow White and the Seven Hipsters into this, right? And do they have the original pictures there? Yeah, look, attendance. Oh God, Rachel. Yeah, this was it. Snow White and the Seven Hipsters, right? Now these are body doubles for what the tools were going to be like, and everybody said, "Well, this looks like shit, and we're losing money hand over fist." And so this is what it looks like now. Really, that looks like a significant change of direction. Now, will this come to Doctor Who? I think sooner than people expect. Right, the next season's already in the can. I mean, I guess they could take out wokeness in the edit, right? But will they even be around? Because at the same, because they're basically looking at being sued by the investors for complete mismanagement. And here we go. This is from John the White. By the way, if you ever want things with shirts well, John the White is the guy to look at, right? He really he has a eye for minutia, which I do not have. What a time to get Bud Light, said John. Iger just begged investors not to sue, telling them he was going to go back to making good moves, and the woke was all Chapek's fault. That's a lie. Now they want to know, WTF, what are you trying to blackmail Elon Musk, Bob? And Elon Musk literally called him out. Look at their stock price. It is plummeting. Like plummeting. This was a year ago. How did they have? It was this. Yeah, so it was a high right in the middle of COVID, right at the end of COVID, and then boom, lowest ever, which means it's lost. How much is it now? Americans value Twitter a lot more than Disney, right? That's basically the thing. Where is it? Hang on. He had. He actually had the figures of how much they how much they lost. I've got to try and find it. I will go search it. One second. And the figure, like, this is over the last few days. The figures are staggering, like absolutely staggering about how much money that they've lost. I mean, it's like when you hear the number, it's like 150 billion or so. It's like ridiculous. Is this it? No, this looks like that's just what I was looking at. Hang on. Oh man, I saw it earlier. Maybe it's over here. I can't find it. But yeah, no, the amount of money they've lost in their stock price. Oh, maybe this is it. Don't get Bud Lighted. Yeah, okay. The stock price that it fell under $100 a share was like a seismic thing. Now it's falling further, right? It's just plummeting. By the way, give it up. You can't fight all of us at once. I don't have to. I just need to make an example of one of you. That's kind of true. And by the way, I've noticed that's the attack of the talking heads right now, or the Hamas supporting talking heads on TV. So, well, Israel can never win and destroy Hamas. We'll give it a go, baby. We'll give it a go. I think we're doing okay. Cast, let's go back yourself. Yeah, and their stock price in the bloody toilet where it deserves to be. So I just think this Doctor Who, we're looking at a genuine case of go woke, go broke, right? I mean, like a real genuine case of go woke, go broke. Fine. With that, let's get to the chat. Man, under an hour to go. Okay. Man, I used to be excited. Doink. Meanwhile, Rotten Tomatoes. What? It's not letting me. Chrome has lost permission to fix it. Go to system prep. Oh, I might need to reboot Chrome. Really? What a pain in the fucking ass. It was just working, right? It was just working. Let me try one more time. No. Dang it. Fine. You know, let me put on something for you guys to watch for a couple of seconds while I reboot Chrome. What do I? We'll put on the Wednesday intro. I never see the Wednesday intro.
Yes, fans, I'm back, leading the autumn programmes on BBC Three with the most expensive series ever to come out of this bureaucratic dump. Roland.
So where are we going?
Further than we've ever gone before.
Report. Structural latching system integrity breached. Prepare to take us out of here, number one.
Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phasers, load forward torpedo bays. Engage.
Homo sapiens. What an inventive, invincible species. It's only a few million years since they crawled up out of the mud and learned to walk. Puny, defenseless bipeds. They've survived flood, famine, and plague. They've survived cosmic wars and holocausts. Now, here they are, out among the stars, waiting to begin a new life, ready to outsit eternity. They're indomitable.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm trying to pull up. What was I just trying to pull up? Hang on. Oh, yeah, fine. I'm trying to pull up, not this one. I lost the first 15 minutes of the chat because I had to reboot something Google. Really? Pain in the bloody ass. Pain in the bloody ass. That's what I say. So, there we go. Let's see if this has it in. This should get. Really? Man, I've lost the first 15 minutes. That's just annoying, right? That is just annoying. But anyway, specials not doing well on Rotten Tomatoes, right? 42%, right? Not doing well whatsoever. Listen, if you said hello in the first 15 minutes, please say hello again. I feel really guilty. Meanwhile, 10 years ago, 93%, right? It's not good. It's not good. By the way, this is my thumbnail for Friday. Boy, did I think I nailed this one. Okay, Pete. Let's join the culture war. Yes, and there's no question that we're on the right side. That's totally not losing. Yeah, you guys. Again, Russell, mate. Detached. Everything that Ofcom says is true about you. Oh, Barry, do you look good, darling? Yes, you do. Oh, really makes all this work worthwhile. We have no idea what the blue Yonder is. I'm pretty sure the rabbi's hoping it's me wearing this. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Perry. You are correct. Now, just a reminder, are there even any chicks with dicks that can save us tonight? Who knows, David? Who knows? It could go either way, right? It could go any way. We'll find it. So anyway, so this is now, and then after I want to watch. I also want to watch the not Confidential, Unleashed, which is just mind-numbingly stupid. Then we'll be back at 8:15, right? 8:15 to get the instant review. Now I have no idea what's going to be in tonight's episode, so I'm risking it by saying, well, I did not see that coming. In that, so I don't know. They keep saying this is shocking and terrifying, but I tend to doubt it, right? I tend to doubt it. Now, Darren M, I remember you were here, and I think Colin Archer, you were the first person, right? I remember seeing both of you in the chat. Again, I apologize for the first 15 minutes. It's gone. I should have started, but I couldn't start the chat because I couldn't pull up the iCandy. There you go. Fine. Oh, I could have just opened that in Chrome and shared it that way. That would have worked. Never mind. Where am I up to? You know what? I'm probably going to need to restore all my tabs as well. Open history, right? This is that one's doink. Fine, so let me get that. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. Paul Tozen here. Darren M. still here. Paul Raymond Williams is here. The O2 Starters is here. Good morning, good evening, Rabbi. I thought of you during Dan's stream the other night. Well, I think of Dan during my streams often. Where we are? Sadako 24 is here. By the way, okay, that's the other thing. The tidbits I've learned from like real life combat in Gaza is the D9s are incredibly cool. This is going to tie into something. The D9s, these like 2-story high bulldozers. Essentially, they're the first things that go in, right? And so it's kind of. And my son will say, yeah, they only get the stupidest people to drive those. So like, go forward, go back. Like they get told what to do. But it's just funny. And apparently his driver is like really cocky, and he always keeps making mistakes. He's nearly killed a bunch of people in the IDF side. Like his tank. It's like the turret of his tank hit another turret tank, making it go back. And they got like a thing through the intercom, and that was like the commander's tank. He goes, oh, "You just nearly killed our loader," because because then the turret has a thing that goes boom, and if your head's in the wrong place, you're going to get killed, right? And also, the tanker that made the top bit swivel. If you're not expecting that, you could die. If your head's in the wrong place, you could absolutely die. It was typical Rusty Davis fare, but also it was fun, but also ridiculous. It seemed a step above Chibnall's worst. Well, I put it, there seemed above Chibnall's worst, yes, above Chibnall's best. I put it right neck to neck with Power of the Doctor. I really do, right? I went over those rankings last week. I really put it neck to neck with Power of the Doctor. So, which I think is Chibnall's best, right? Yeah, and that's not good, right? That's not something you want to go, oh, I'm so proud of, right? That is not good. Wouldn't it have been better spending all the budget on a 90-minute venture? The Star Beast is a complete waste of time and money. One good story with all the money lavished on it. Yeah, well, no, apparently tonight's episode, they spent more on it than the entire season. I don't know, season 2006, 2007 season. I don't know. They spent a lot of money on tonight's episode, apparently, and it's like, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do. They've thought this one up. So, but like, are they going to trip over their own insane wokeness, right? I don't know. There's no reason to assume they won't, right? There's no reason to assume they won't be obnoxiously woke. For a special celebrating 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, there was nothing celebratory about it. That's very true. And not that much Doctor either. That's also, I have to tell you, I know I am unusual in this, but I find Tennant one of my least favorite Doctors. Really, I find, going through the Doctors, I find I'd rather watch a William Hartnell, and I'd rather watch a First Doctor with another person playing the First Doctor, right? I like Richard Hundell. I think Stephen Noonan is a dog's bollocks as the First Doctor. I am looking forward to that next box set. They are excellent, right? So I'd like, as the character, I find the First Doctor a really much more interesting character. Second Doctor, equally, much more interesting character than Tennant, right? It's very mercurial. And again, I think that's the only good thing about Underwater Menace, is where he discovered his performance. It was Rob Shearman was his theory. He was saying because the guy who played Professor Zaroff, well, had this performance like so up here, nothing in the world can stop me now. And Troughton just couldn't match it because it was too crazy, right? So so he went very low, right? Which is his performance. Pertwee, yeah, I mean, like just a weird dandy James Bond, right? Bohemian Rhapsody with Tom Baker. Oh man, I mean, like Tom Baker, like his delivery of this line is such an indictment for Doctor Who, like the Doctor Who fans they want today. You know, the very powerful and the very stupid have one thing in common. They don't alter their views to fit the facts. They alter their facts to fit the views, which can be uncomfortable if it happens to be one of those. You're one of the facts that needs altering, and that's what we are. We are, non-crazy Doctor Who fans. We're one of the facts that needs altering. Peter Davison. Peter Davison is. I liked his stuff. It was more the era and Colin Baker as well. I would rather watch a Peter Davison and a Colin Baker than a David Tennant. Seth McCoy, one of my all-time favorite Doctors. I love Sylvester McCoy, right? I can't wait for him to release season 25 on Blu-ray. Season 25 I describe as 3 of the greatest, most entertaining and fun Doctor Who stories of all time, and Silver Nemesis, right? I love all of those ones. All right, Paul McGann. Look, we didn't see much from him at first, but yeah, we all love Paul McGann. We all like to see more Paul McGann. Christopher Eccles, interesting new take. Shameless meets Doctor Who. I wish he had more time, right? I wish he had spent more time. I wish Big Finish didn't piss away the opportunity of having him on like these, again. Look, Big Finish is doing the same job as David Tennant, as Russell Davis, so I can see. David Tennant, yeah, look, okay. I know this is where most people came into Doctor Who in the new era. Right, and most people came in there and they loved David Tennant and they loved the memories. Same reason why I love Peter Davison, essentially, and Tom Baker and Colin Baker. Right, it was a connection to a happy time in my life, and it was happy because of Doctor Who. Right, it feels fantastic. Matt Smith, I think, is vastly superior to David Tennant. Right, Matt Smith is one of the most perfect castings for the Doctor. Right, I think Matt Smith is as perfect a casting as the Doctor as Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Tom Baker. Like that kind of high-level classic, right? And then Capaldi, the best actor to play the role, did a fantastic job, not served by his material. And look, the reason he's not coming back is he said it many times. Well, firstly, I think he was screwed over by the BBC, right? He was pushed out to make way for Jodie Whittaker and like shit Doctor Who. But he said, they nowadays they want the Doctor to be some kind of cosmic imp, right? And I think we see that with shooting. I think that's what it is, and I would love to see Doctor Who with the showrunner of Toby Whithouse, right? With it starring him as he would like to do it, right? As he thinks Doctor Who would do. Honestly, I think, and then obviously we have Jodie Whittaker who was shit beyond shit, a shit stain over the Doctor. Shit stain of the Doctor. Now that is a title that we need to have. Probably will have by season 15. And like I don't know, just like something for shooting is all time low as well, right? I'm intrigued to know where they're going to be by episode 7 or episode 6 of season 1, right? In 2024. I'm really intrigued to see where they're going to be. I don't think anywhere good in terms of ratings. Do you remember last year when Rusty Davis was saying how bad the current writers were because they would push the message and not writing a story? Yes! And it all gave us so much hope, didn't it? It all gave us so much hope. But no. I mean, look. You thought that he had learned this lesson from Terrence Dicks.
And from Gallifrey, cautions that the Doctor and politics don't mix.
If you're concentrating on putting over a political message rather than on doing a really good show, I think there is a danger. Maybe you can do both, but it would be hellish difficult. And I think there's maybe a danger that the show wouldn't be as good as it could or should be because you're not looking at the right aims.
Exactly. I mean, the Davros was awful. I'm sorry. That was John Maynard said that. Soda Engine is here. How you doing? Darren, I'm sure I said hello to you. Colonel Godwithen's here. How you doing? Colonel Godwithen. David Hammond. The man is live. It's Liz. You are correct, David Hammond. You are indeed correct. Well, there are obviously some roles which require academic higher level of education. Tony B. Liar pushed far too many people into uni. Where they got brainwashed. For that's the reason he did, right? Woodhouse 122 is here. Galaxy Quest just started on TV. Miles better than... Oh, really? There's Galaxy Quest TV show? Really? What? Wait. Let me look this up. I love Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest TV show? Is there going to be a Galaxy Quest TV show? Paramount Plus is teaming up with counterpart Paramount Studios live action adaptation. When's it coming out? You're saying it's out already. Hang on. Sorry, this was a real handbrake term because I really like Galaxy Quest. So it's due to air. Let's say Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia. Reader's Digest, comedy film. Do we have a thing about a spin-off? Also, the fanboys. So no documentary. No. Pro sequel series. Paramount was slated to be in the early stages of the Galaxy Quest TV series in April 2023. Streaming will produce overseen by Johnson. I'm fine. That's interesting. That is interesting. But it's not out yet. They said, is it? It is on. Hang on. Galaxy Quest Paramount Plus. Is it on there? There's movies. Yeah, I'm not seeing it being out yet. But you would have thought you'll find it everywhere if it's out. I don't know. I imagine it's a lot better. Yeah, I do imagine a lot better. Now you bring an interesting one up here, Raymond. He says Rusty Davis lied, saying that he wants to focus on good writing. He's now just gaslighting the fandom about the social media clicked for him rather than writing a good story. I don't think so. I think he believes every word that he says, right? I think he believes every word that he says. And I think, look, the Doctor is a supremely moral character, right? And that's essentially what the Doctor is. Again, the "Have I got the right?" scene in Destiny in Genesis of the Daleks really exemplified that, right? Really, very much wonderfully, in my mind. So I think for Rusty Davis, he's got to be boldly boldly moral. But we've reached a question with transgenderism: is it deeply moral or immoral? Right? I think it's deeply immoral. Right? Again, it's a kink. You're welcome to do your kink. I'm not looking to ban your kink, right? But I'm certainly not. I'm not a person who would want to propose kinks to children as sexual normalcy, right? I mean, and frankly, look, this is going to upset many people. I think it's a bad idea. We have unlimited free porn in society, right? I think that's made sex very confused and bad for kids, right? I think it's much better that you squinted at a National Geographic, right? Or something. Or you had bad bootleg porn from the 70s. But having unlimited free porn with unlimited options, I think has made all these kids completely insane. I mean, Gareth Roberts was talking about, how Doctor Who now appeals to the absolute worst in society. And it does. I hate to tell you. So Colin Archer, to be fair, I do think one of being less popular shows being funded by other shows, which streaming tends not to do. However, you're looking at the wrong thing. YouTube does tend to do it, right? Everything has a voice on YouTube, and it's the most egalitarian programming method of all time. It's totally egalitarian because you find every niche there because there is an audience for everything, right? And you get paid commensurate to the audience. So that's why I think if you do it more as a streaming service, right? I think they would do very well from that. Not they wouldn't do well from it, but the British public would do very well for that. How many shows would have been made under that model? Well, again, I think if you can finding an audience is part of the job. I really do. I think if somebody made a look at that low budget Judge Dredd, Judge Minty, right? I think if you can do stuff with that level, let me pull that up. If we can. Hang on. We'll do Judge Minty, if you've never seen it. It's really impressive, right? It's really impressive. Fine. They also did the Strong Jim Jog. So I just download the trailer. Hang on. No, you know what? I'll download the full 30-minute thing and show a couple of clips from it. But like this sort of thing is 100% possible with part of being a creative is you've got to find creative ways to make things happen, right? And I think that's part of the process, finding a way to bring your vision to life and then seeing if you can find an audience, right? And that's the essence of independent filmmaking. Which I think that if you have an international platform, it's which something like YouTube gives you, it's totally where to go. Here, so look, this was done for zero budget, right? Zero budget. Yeah, 1 second.
Get ready to hand over your credits, Mega City 1. You're not going to want to miss
the best Judge Dredd adaptation ever made.
this guy on tonight's brand new episode. Sob Story, 7:30 tonight.
Lose your arm, man? This is what you need. GXRPG repeat.
That's going to happen in a minute. Rest assured.
About war circle. You can take down a manta tank with this thing. Judge!
I'm sorry. This is perfect. This is the Judge Dredd adaptation we've always wanted. Can you imagine Cole Urban story? And then I'll scoot forward a little bit till we actually see Judge Dredd.
Stay with me, Bill. Where's my H-Wagon?
Oh, it's perfect. I'm sorry. It's perfect. And this was what 10 years ago. Technology today makes everything easier. I mean, look, if we have time, we'll look at the Lady Ballers trailer because Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, who did the non-woke Snow White, right? When he saw the Rachel Zegler Snow White, he put money into doing the non-woke Snow White. Everybody was excited by it, causing Disney to completely reverse course. His point is this. They're throwing bricks of gold bars out of the window, and they couldn't care less, right? He's like, well, I'll pick them up then. Someone's going to pick it up, right? Someone's going to pick it up. Somehow, we're going to... I think there's going to be great Doctor Who. Line of Duty is an example of something that was on BBC. Yeah, that was grandfathered in because it came from before the era of woke, right? I hope everyone is ready to get Blue Yonder to fuck. I don't know. We'll find out. No good adaptation BBC of Christmas Carol was depressing. That's true, right? I just like the what's his name? Not Stephen Knight. He's the creator of it. St. Graham was in played Al Capone in what's it called again? Boardwalk Empire. Great actor, really like him. Right? He also starred in Time. I saw the second season of Time, which I'm not watching. It has nothing to do with Jimmy McGovern, who did the first season. The BBC comedy is Ghost. It never sees Only Fools and Horses again. Too scared of upsetting everyone. Exactly. Comedy needs to have balls, and the BBC have none. Bobby D75 is here. Doing Bobby D75. Fine, I'm whizzing through the chat now. Whizzing through it because, like, man, we got half hour till the show starts. Chris Berger is there. How you doing, Chris Berger? Thank you for joining us. We have 8-Bit Snack Boy is here. New Times interior looks like the inside of a gents' public bathroom back in the 70s. They were never that clean, but with no pee on the floor. Give it time. You know, They'll come up with something. David Evans says, "Who knows? You should do an agenda counter when you view it." Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tonight, right? I'm going to do that. I think it stacks above 10. It's time to stop watching. I don't think I'll be watching this tonight if I didn't have the channel. But I also got to ask myself, do I have the channel to make me watch it? Because like I'm not ready to give it up, right? I don't know. I noticed the dwarves appear to be CGI, so still 7 roles that could have gone to actors of less height, whatever. I think people are restricted growth, I think is what the term is now. That chart looks like Doctor Who ratings. They all have the same look, Darren M. They all have the same look. My 13-year-old son has just decided to stay on Fortnite, and for me to record Doctor Who for him to watch later. Well, just watch it on iPlayer. Says it all. And it's so annoying. It won't be on Disney until tomorrow. I mean, Disney are such dumb fucks. It's beyond me. Right? Wait, there's Doctor Who episode on side? No, it's just a David Tennant thing. Actually, we do know that Disney money started coming in before the specials were. Do we know Disney money started coming in before the specials were made? I think the Sony money came in before the special was made, and that money came in on the idea that it would be having a major investment from a multinational streamer, right? Because Netflix and Amazon and Disney were all in the bidding for it, right? I wish they went to Netflix, frankly. Philip Bogart is here. How you doing, Philip Bogart? And DWC Reviews. Hi, DWC Reviews. Raymond says, my review predicts, and there's nothing else. I had a sudden thought earlier. If Mass Doctor knew he was the last regeneration as he did on Trenzalore, why is he so accepting of the idea he had other doctors and they're the Doctor? That's a good question, right? That's a good question. Maybe it's just like he didn't really think about it. Galactic Girls is here. How you doing, Galactic Girls? Is Galactic Girls Blue Bonnet? I think. Oh, if you're not, I do apologize. Other YouTubers say the same thing about the first of these specials. Propaganda hijacking it. Yeah, is it going to be the same? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, no idea whatsoever. We will find out in about 25 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. I said on Father Miller Street. I got to stream with Father Miller. I haven't spoken to him for ages. I mean, we speak on Twitter, but I haven't spoken to him for ages. At least my worst case scenario didn't happen. I was worried. This is Colin Archer. I was worried the special would bring people back by being good, and as YouTube here would be like, no, straight into the woke, right? Straight into the woke. Yasmin in these acting lessons. Well, again, look, they are young. In all fairness. I hate using their pronoun speech, but I don't want to get in trouble with Twitter over basically nothing, right? That's not really a hill to die on. But you disagree with David about Matt Smith being vastly superior to David Tennant. I like how alien he is. He doesn't overact like some of Tennant's work. I feel Matt lacks some gravitas. Well, look, dude, that's the greatness about fandom, right? About Doctor Who and fandom. We used to be able to disagree, right? And it wasn't the end of the fucking world. I respect your opinion. I do, right? Because I totally respect your opinion, right? I don't respect fake facts like, oh, that is so super successful. It's not. Right. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. I really hope the ratings are bad tomorrow. I really do. I'm not surprised the AI score was the highest they had in years. It was look gorgeous. Tom Baker is the best, followed by Pertwee, Capaldi, Smith, Tennant, Eccleston, and then Davison. See, I will put. You want me to rank doctors? Oh, me. We don't have time. We don't have time. I'll do it on tomorrow's stream, right? But I will rank doctors. Oh. Because I got to put Sylvester McCoy way up there. I love Sylvester McCoy. Really one of my favorite doctors, right? Just fantastic. Holton is here. We live, or we live, or we could be both. Galaxy Quest the movie. Oh, sorry. So they're doing a TV show. And I love Galaxy. See, you know what Galaxy Quest really worked? Because it wasn't sneering at fandom. It wasn't sneering at fans, right? It was it was the essence of being a fan of the somewhat innocent, right? Somewhat innocent naivete around it, right? About how you get caught up in all these things. I loved it, right? I really loved it. I loved all the taking the piss out like actory thing. Yeah, it was just a lovely movie, right? It was just a lovely movie. Mark the Vickers here. No free porn. Unsubscribed. Listen, I didn't say I was going to get rid of it. I just think it was a bad idea, right? I just think it was a bad idea. Gotta go, guys. Fingers crossed for tonight. I'm kind of torn, right? I would like this to be another awful woke fest, right? That would really, because I want to feel vindicated. But like Dan is really holding out for this one being good. If this one is sucked ass, it's going to become somewhat crushing for him, right? And look, the basic pattern we've seen in woke TV is that it do something bad that pisses a lot of people off, and a lot more hold on for hope, and then it gets much worse. We've seen it in Doctor Who with Timeless Child. I got the interesting rumor posted by Noel. We're going to look at in a minute. Right? I don't know his source from it, but I can see it happening. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. Cole Owen's film was a great Judge Dredd, but the crap Mega City 1 movie, the slow one, was the reverse. I quite like that because I like the ABC Warrior now. I thought that was pretty good. Hairless Primate is here. How you doing, Hairless Primate? As an Amro, Shalom, watching, doing the accounts. But man, you can't get much more Jewy than that, right? Where we up to? Fine. Still with it. I got up with the chat. Excellent. Fine. Yeah, so let's look at this room, which I find somewhat fascinating, right? There we go. Doink. So if I had more time, I would have reached out to Noah and asked him what he knows about this. This is fascinating, right? There'll be no more regenerations. Each Doctor will be in his own universe, not connected. Each Doctor will be a reinvention of the show. If this is true, it is sadly the end. The 60s is marking the end of all we know and love about Doctor Who. If that's true, right? Does he talk about where he knows this from? R.I.P. Doctor Who. So this partly matches what John the White's been told, that there's going to be a real separation between the BBC and Disney Who going forward. There will only be it matches every stereotype, right? But we've heard about a bi-regeneration or whatever it's called. I don't know. They just released the Pandaverse. It just came out. What? I don't know. So did he talk about where this came from? Mr. Tardis is spurging out, talking about people. Oh, House of the Dragons are trending. But so we've got that going on. Do we have time? No, we've only got 5 minutes before I got to sign off, which is not a lot of time. So what else do we have to look at then? Actually, no, let's go back to this. So tomorrow's night show. There's a huge article about Doctor Who in the new SFX magazine, which we'll be going over that. I was so excited about this, right? I used to be so excited. I don't know. I can't. I really believe he's going to be a non-binary Doctor who will be wearing Whitman's clothing, right? I really genuinely believe that to be the case, right? I really want to see Godzilla -1. It's not slated to come out in Israel, but I really want to see it, right? But they got this huge Doctor Who article. Well, look at this. It's this is Cutaway Press that do great Doctor Who spin-offs. John Ridgway on the art of Inferno, The World Dies Screaming. I think that sounds very, very cool. So next issue of Doctor, they're going to be the Whoniverse, Master of the Universe, Exodus. Right, so yeah, so we got this like lengthy article. Goes on for a while. And then we got, is this an interview with Shooty? All I want for Christmas is who? I don't know. We'll see what it's like tonight. Essentially, right? We'll see what it's like tonight. And again, I just wish this was his costume, but I think he's going to be wearing women's clothing quite a bit, right? I do think that's going to be happening. And Ruby Sunday, not a Millie Gibson, not enough of wearing women's clothes. So this is and one of the other producers. Who's this? I don't know. One of the new producers is Chris May. I think he's got a SFX background. Right. Oh, God, this just annoys me, Sophie. Yeah. This just screams agenda. Okay. Yeah. Please stop. But Nicola always looks wonderful. Always looks wonderful here. So there's one more media sighting, which makes me very, very uncomfortable. Right. Let me find it. Oh, I typed it, spelled it wrong. Let's try that again. Really? Oh, so annoying. So annoying. The thing you're trying to find, you can't find quick enough. Here, 1 second. I know somebody else posted it, so I gotta go over here. Doink. And then I've got click. Do I find it? It's down there somewhere. Where is? Oh, here we go. Doink. Did I just wipe that out? Oh man, I'm such a schmuck. There you go. Fine. So this I find not good news at all, right? Not good news at all. That he's on the cover of the big issue, right? Which is essentially a socialist rag. If this is the people they want to appeal to, it's not good, right? It's not good at all. An exclusive interview with Shooty Gatwa. I am here to bring hope. Well, here's the trouble. Right now, this new era has sapped me of all hope, right? Sapped me of all hope. 1 second. Let's have a quick look at this. See if we can get any news from their preview. This is a secret one, says Russell Davis. We haven't even announced redacted. There's no. I don't think there's anybody coming back in this one, right? I don't think there's anybody coming back. Sorry, spoiler. Maybe K9. But sometimes it's nice to be surprised. Only one major clip from the episode featured in the recent trailer. Blah, blah, blah. We know things leak ahead of time. Nothing's leaked. I wanted to take one of the specials and say, let's protect this one. Let's try and reveal nothing about it. Doctor Who magazine readers. Well, I think they seem to have filmed all this one on a set, so they managed to keep it quiet. There's now here we are writing a preview of Doctor Who magazine. It'll be very interesting to know, but by the time it reaches print, how much will have been preserved and how much we haven't. I can't predict everything again. But honestly, I think you killed a lot of interest last week, right? With your lecturing, right? I really think you killed a lot of interest with your freaking lecturing. Okay, so what can we say about this Shrouded 60th anniversary special? Well, firstly, I didn't find the last one a 60th anniversary special at all. There's a very funny pre-title sequence, teases Russell, which was shot on a wide open air and not seen by a single fan or passerby. Oh, we talked about that before. We know that special too. While Blue Yonder is named after the official song of the U.S. Air Force. The tune about the military going to war. But it's ominous significance here. Why? What here and why does it play? It's all been teased. All that's been teased of the plot. The Doctor and Nora abandoned in the middle of a dangerous, hostile action situation. And what could be so bad about the TARDIS runs away, and without the TARDIS, who's left to help them escape? So many questions. Russell's not giving a thing away. Well, again, this is what I liked about the 11th Hour. I think 11th Hour is probably one of the best debut episodes ever. When it's the Doctor without a sonic screwdriver, without a TARDIS, right? With nothing, newly regenerated, with a massive world crisis, saving the day. Wonderful, right? And I love the use of cell phone technology. Everything about it was good, right? I would say one of Moffat's best scripts. Really, really, really wonderful, right? Stealing the fire engine, everything about it, just so perfectly Doctor Who, right? I think that's probably one of the best debut episodes. What can be the best? The main thing is to say about the episode, says Russell, is I knew I had David and Catherine, my two favorite actors, two best actors in the land. So one of the episodes I'm having to make the most of them. Special number 1 is Meep upstaging everyone. True. Other than your own agenda. Special 3 is very much a toy maker story. David and Catherine have wonderful things to do in those episodes, but this was a chance to focus on them. To see where the Doctor and Donna have been and what they think that they're like to and what they think what they're like in extreme circumstances and how they react to each other. Now it's glorious. It's a masterclass in acting. Watching the two, watching the two of them, you just can't take your eyes off them. They bring intelligence, insight, and wit. And I mean, my God, do those two knock a joke at the park? Well, you didn't really knock last week's at the park. That was a joke. They're probably the best friends. That's a rare thing for actors. I don't think actors have to be best friends. Good actors look good no matter what. Blah 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 blah. He's saying nothing, right? He's saying nothing. Acting's great because you get lazy. Blah 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 blah. Wobbly Yonder pushes everything to the limit, including the budget. Yeah, I heard this one's huge, right? Coming back to Doctor Who, the danger of writing it, knowing how to make it in the old days. But honestly, I just find the new TARDIS a ridiculous waste of money, right? Oh, look, we're wheelchair accessible. Oh, it's big and it's stupid and it's empty, right? It was exactly what Harry Amnett and the other guy dreamt up, right? It was exactly like, I thought there'll be some kind of weird CGI stuff going on in that massive empty space. No. It's really unimpressive. I'm sorry. Maybe it'll get better. Who knows? Fine. So saying that he's able to write for more money. Prosthetic CGI, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Okay. So, yeah, they're spending a lot of money in this one, right? They're spending a lot of money. Fine. In issue 585, Russell teases how the following 5 words will appear in Wild Blue Yonder: Southampton, vegetable, bean, starlight, and flux. Oh, yeah, they're going to deal with flux tonight. Fine, in about 12 minutes. So, the brilliant work of Chris Chibnall did and say it's absolutely part of history as well. Nah, 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 nah. Hey. Good, but everything you say is stupid, Russell. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I don't give much hopes on this being any good, right? Bottom line, we'll find out very soon, right? We will find out very soon. Fine, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up 10 minutes of the episode starting. Want to go pee before it. I'm going to watch it intently, and then I will report back to you, and we will. Like last week, did you see what my instant review last week? I was just like laughing. I was like, that's insane. Did that just happen? Yes, that did happen. And it got worse the more you thought about it. Fine, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me. Join back here. What was it? 8:15, where we will take apart whatever it is we're about to see. With that, I'm hitting the end broadcast, man. I'm hitting